Hi everyone, are you ready for part 2 of this sketchbook tour? My name is Irene and I am an artist, an illustrator. I paint, I draw, I sketchbook, I teach, I do everything art related. And the first part of this sketchbook tour is already up on my channel if you want to see it. It shows you this whole first part of the sketchbook in a bit more detail. And I asked you to vote if you wanted to see the whole sketchbook in one part or rather in 2 shorter parts. And everyone, like a big overwhelming amount of people, voted 2 shorter videos. So that's what we're going to do. Today is the second video of those 2. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. You will find lots of art content here, painting tutorials, sketchbook pages, drawing classes and lots more. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe and I really hope to see you around soon. So this sketchbook is a Seawhite of Brighton sketchbook. I've decorated the outside myself. It is my messy sketchbook. I've used it for about 1.5 years. You can see it's a little bit damaged. I really like the sketchbook. I have ordered it again, just with a dark background instead of a white background. So I'm going to use it again. I think it's a really nice mix between affordable and good quality. So it's a really nice in-between sort of mix. And it has almost 100 pages. I think it's 95 pages. And that's why it took me quite a long time to complete as well. So this is the page where we were last time. So actually I don't need them. This is the page where we left off last time. And it's roughly halfway. I've not counted it. The first part of the sketchbook took me much longer than to complete than the second part, because I really have been using it a lot lately and I completed it in only a few months. But I usually work in various sketchbooks at the same time. So I have a nice sort of curated sketchbook, and then this is my more messy sketchbook that I doodle and sketch in. So this is the one where we left off. This page is available to watch as a live session on my channel. I will link, because there's quite a lot of live sessions that I filmed of this sketchbook that you can watch back. So I will link all of those in the descriptions. I'll see if I can link them in the video, but I think you can only do one. So I will see if that's possible, but otherwise they will all be in the description. So this was a live session, and this is now the first page that we're going to talk on today. So this was also a live session on YouTube, and we were practicing sketching hands and feet, which is sort of body parts that people always really struggle with. And I would just recommend, if you find something hard, just practice it. Embrace the difficulty, have some fun with it, and you will slowly get better. So I used ink, pen, some pencil, to do these sketches. And now I look back at them, they actually look quite nice. When you're new to drawing hands, start with like little mitten hands. This is what I did here. I suspect that was what I was sharing there. Start with little mitten hands, and then more and more you practice, the easier it becomes to add in fingers and final details. Some more faces and people sketches. In this sketchbook I did a lot of drawings of faces and different expressions. A lot of ink drawings. I used a lot of different pens and ink in this sketchbook as well. And something that I drew on the other side has pressed through a little bit, so let's check what it is. And of course it is some alcohol markers. So this was a session where we were drawing different shoes. It was a live session in my community. And the goal was for everyone to bring their own shoes and to sketch them together. It was a lot of fun to do. And so these are all shoes that I brought to the session and we were drawing. I think they came out quite well. In my community we always draw different things every month together. These were some sketches for a card that I made for someone. I didn't use any of those. These were just practice sketches. I do think they came out quite fun. I like this one. But they were not used in the end. Some animal sketches. I really love using my brush pen to quickly sketch out different animals and different poses without going in with a sketch pencil or using your eraser and getting it all perfect. I love the loose and wonky style of this, and this is something that I use in my larger paintings as well, which is something I don't really share on this channel very often, but I make large canvas paintings as well. I have a separate Instagram account where I share those, and I often just use a big brush and make a really quick shape and then add more detail afterwards, but not sketching out, just go quick with ink straight in and let loose. I feel like the more I sketch, the more I lose the sort of integrity of what I'm doing. And maybe, yes, my drawing will become more realistic, but I lose some of that, that fun integrity that this picture, like this little foot, like clearly it looks a little bit funny, but it just gives so much character to the drawing. So this is something I'm practicing often in this sketchbook, but I use it in other places as well. Like, look at that little face. I just love that. And I know it's not hyper realistic, but I do find it really fun. I also really like the combination of a bit of watercolors with that ink. The ink I use is waterproof, so I can paint over it and then add some shadows and some colors to it later. Some figure drawings. Some animal sketches. I like the zebra. I think it looks cool. Sketching children. Children have funny proportions in comparison to adults. Their heads are huge and their bodies are tiny. And it's fun to draw kids. More animals. This was a session where we were practicing realistic fur. So we did sketches of a deer and then really analyzed the skin and the fur and then made a more detailed sketch of that in color pencil. I really love these. I think they just jump off the page and they're just so much fun. I did a whole series of larger paintings in this style. Which I enjoyed. More animals. Really like that watercolor effect in the background. Just really loose colors. I said this already earlier, but this color, this orange yellow, I almost run out of it, so I need to buy a new one, but I don't remember what brand it is. So I need to find a similar color. I just really love the warmth of that tone. This was at an event where I did a bit of sketching. There wasn't much opportunity, so I'm not super happy with it, but I made some notes. It was all about sustainability, and this was people from different supermarkets talking about how they make their products more sustainable. I wasn't very impressed with it, to be honest, but I enjoyed doing a bit of sketching and listening to it. Some sloths. Sloths are just fantastic animals. I love the energy and the movement and the droopy sort of fur that they have. More drawings of faces. So you'll have seen quite a few of these sort of pen ink sketches in this book already. In the first half there's quite a lot of them. This is just a ballpoint pen, and I think ballpoint pen is a really great medium to use to sketch with. More sketches at this event. I clearly added some to this page, and then there might have been an empty page there. With some notes, just messy sketches, but sometimes it is quite fun to sketch whilst you listen to things. And here I was sitting outside waiting for a friend. I was drinking a beer and also doing some sketches. This sketch was during a camping trip. So these are my friends playing rounders, and I made some sketches of them doing that, which was a lot of fun. I do become a bit self-conscious when I draw people, especially if it's people that I know. But that's okay, that's all part of it. This looks like... Oh, I remember what this is. This is in the park here, close to where I live. And I was sitting there. There's a bit of a platform you can sit on looking out over the pond. So I sat there, made some sketches, coloured it in. More animals, and here I added some oil pastels so I can sort of feel it. It's still a bit sticky, that oily sort of feel that oil pastels have. Yeah, really like this little frog. And more color pencil sketches. I love sketching in color pencil instead of in graphite. And it's just really fun to combine different colors. So you can use one color to make the rough sketch and then use another color to trace that sketch and make it more precise. I like this, sort of how they're all sort of fitted, slotted in together. Little pandas. This was from a sketching pandas session in my community. I really like that one. I think it came out really well. This is a YouTube live session where I use different colors pen to sketch faces. It's a lot of fun to do. These are like fine liner type pens, and I think it works quite well for drawing people. This was a sketch I made during a podcast recording, and they're a little bit like wolves, aren't they? But there's a bit of a sort of scary, dark vibe to it, which I quite like. Another YouTube live session, sketching fruit. This is one of the most popular videos on my channel, funnily enough. People really loved it, like sketching fruit. And I don't think it came out quite well, but it's only a loose sketch. And I did never expected that would be a really popular video, but it is. I will also link it in the description if you want to watch it and sketch along. These are sketches for a page in a different sketchbook that I made. In my more curated sketchbook, this was sort of a composition. This is the one that I went with. A bit of lettering in there as well. And this was a community live session of sketching post boxes, mailboxes. We make characters out of it. Yeah, that's what happened. It's okay. These sort of live drawing sketches in ink is something that I'm really exploring in my larger paintings at the moment. So you'll find some pages of this sort of further on as well. Just me practicing composition and like some lines that I would then add to larger paintings. More color pencil animals. I like the orange and the purple tones together. Used it a few times in here. And more figure practices. Sometimes I use a website called Line of Action to find models to draw. I like going to a live, sort of in-person live drawing session as well, but I've not been for ages. I think here my ink almost started to run out. There is something about a brush pen where the ink almost ran out that gives you really lovely rough textures. Drawing a portrait in color pencils. I like using colors that are not sort of traditional skin tone colors, like blues and greens and purples. I find it a lot of fun to combine these. This is also a live session on YouTube. It was for Inktober. A little Inktober drawing together. I didn't join Inktober this year because I didn't really have the time. I had lots of other things on. But this is the one session that we did together, which was a lot of fun. There was quite a lot of people joining in. This is a sketch that I made for my Musings painting. So there's 3 figures. My Sirens painting, actually. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It's quite a quick way of filling a page, isn't it? So a bit more practice. Don't know if you can even see that these are figures. I had a lot of fun painting these. More animal practices. You can see I love drawing animals. Always drawing different animals. And this page is a little bit random. This was a Zoom session with my niece who lives in another country. And we decided to do some painting together over Zoom. So I asked her what she wanted me to paint, and a ladybug was one of them. And this was like a little story that we did together that we then created together. So she painted along, and it was a lot of fun. This was quite a recent live session on YouTube where we practiced figures playing sports. So really like active sort of photos and poses. And I had a lot of fun drawing this. So I went in with ballpoint pen. I sketched a ballpoint pen, then sort of traced the main lines with a thicker ink pen and then added a little bit of color. I think it looks quite fun. A lot of movement on this page. This is a quick sketch that I made in my studio. You can't even really tell, but there's a person here taking photos, and this is everyone's little studios. And these are some more figure drawings. So I don't know if you can tell. Some more figure compositions. I really like that in pink. I think it's fun. More quick faces. Quick sketches of people's faces. Faces are really interesting. I didn't really quite realize how many faces I draw, but yeah, if you go for this sketchbook, you find a lot, don't you? This was also a live session on YouTube where we were drawing vegetables. This is quite a recent one. Autumn colors. More different body types, sketches of people. Again, more sketches and some birds. These are really loose, big brush pen ink sketches. And there we go, the last page. This was a photo of a man sitting there with lots of pigeons sort of on him, on his shoulders and stuff like that. And it's the last page of my sketchbook. So this was, I kept the sticker. This was the actual sketchbook, Seawhite of Brighton sketchbook, mixed media, sort of 19.5 centimeters by 19.5 centimeters, 140 GSM. So that is quite little. I usually prefer pages that are a bit thicker. But actually, it worked really well. That 140 was enough to draw on without things going for. See, all these ink lines, the pages are thick enough for that to work. So that, yeah, I was very happy with that. I bought this book again in a different color, and I'm really looking forward to filling that. So thank you so much for joining in with the sketchbook tour. I really hope you enjoyed it. All the pages that were live sessions and classes that you can join in with are linked underneath, so I will make sure that I do that. You can find them there. If you've not done so yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, share it with all your friends, tell everyone about it. I really appreciate it, and we see each other soon for our next live session, which is on Thursday. Weekly live sessions. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye.